And here we are, guys, on Daybreak, and up at the top of the map in the red from the Team Mouse, it is none other than ThorZaIN fighting for his life in this series. And down at the bottom of the map in the blue from the Team FX Open in Korea, it is the towel-tearing GuMiho.
Yes, it is. And GuMiho, as we mentioned before, has kind of won with whatever he's wanted to in this set. Started with mech against bio, worked well. Then won with bio against mech, and hit worked out pretty well.
Now, here's the real question. Does GuMiho's name mean anything? Or is it just a name?
Actually, I have no
idea. I never
idea.
even thought of that before. You know, there's a lot of players who are like, oh, I wonder what that means, but nobody ever asks that about GuMiho.
Yeah.
If you know what GuMiho's name means, tweet at GoSudoa on Twitter, let me know. And tweet at CatsPajamasSC2 as well. He'd probably want to know too. But
I would like to. It would be nice. So, it'd be really sweet if we could both hit 10,000 followers by IPL 4.
Yeah,
so
that'd be cool.
If you guys could make it happen, we'd love you a long time. And so let's see now what's going to pop out here on Daybreak.
Exactly like that.
Yes, precisely.
Yep.
No guess first yet out of these players. We'll see if they end up going that in a second, but it looks like both are saving up for barracks, and no proxies either. That's another thing. Neither of these players has done a Marauder rush. It's a refreshing change of pace from some of the TBTs we've seen lately.
Yeah, it's fun to see some of the early aggression, but at the same time, it's cool to see some more standard play as well. But
yeah,
ThorZaIN is definitely going to need to pick things up a little bit if he wants to win. He's just kind of, he seems a bit off today. You know, these last two games we've seen from ThorZaIN, I feel like aren't very indicative of his usual play, you know?
Yeah.
So hopefully he pulls things together for game 3, makes it a challenge here, goes on to game 4.
And we'll certainly find out in a bit. Even if you would go down, not all hope is lost, though, as we do have another best of 5 tonight, guys.
Well,
don't forget,
all hope is lost for ThorZaIN.
Well, yeah, for him and foreigners, really, in this tournament. So that's a lot of hope being lost, actually.
Oh.
I take back what I said before.
But everyone likes GuMiho, right? So
yes.
It's good.
Everyone, ever. And, but anyway, so even if ThorZaIN goes down in this game, we are going to have another best of 5, which is actually going to be a PVZ. Who would have thought?
Yeah, no kidding. A PVZ in the Tournament of Champions, the Tournament of Terrans.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could have expected that. But, you know, Life has been playing great. He's had a great run through the lower bracket. Even his series that he lost against Supernova in the upper bracket was pretty close. So, he didn't do bad. He's not a bad Zerg player. I don't know, though. I feel like I'm a little bit worried about him going up against Hero, because Hero's got such great PVZ.
Well, we do have a little bit interesting to note here as ThorZaIN, he is putting down his first gas, their second gas as well. But once again, he decided to put down his, SCP gets one shot on the barracks there. Yeah. ThorZaIN ended up going for second supply depot before he put down his expansion. GuMiho, much like in Game 1, decided to put down his command center before second supply depot.
Yeah.
So, and once again, only putting out one Marine to kind of keep himself scouting around the map, looking for proxies, things like that.
You know, it's crazy just how, like, greedy the Korean players are playing right now. I talked with Greetorp a lot about this lately, too, in that a lot of the builds are so risky. You know, I mean, we've seen some players try to take advantage of that. You know, by hitting early on. Zenex Life is actually a great example of that in ZVT, where he comes in with some earlier Ling attacks that we usually don't see too often, and really punishes things like what we see GuMiho doing here. So, I don't know, I feel like this greediness from Korean StarCraft 2 players is going to eventually get punished, but for now, a lot of them have just been kind of free to do what they want, really.
ThorZaIN building his factory right close to the wall here. That's going to be the closest possible he can get. Putting a starport next to that without proxying it. Yes.
If you put it any farther, that'd be bad.
Well, yes, that's true. But the starport, it's going to be as close as possible by air, so he'll have that down in a second with a ton of gas available as well if he decides he wants to go down the cloaked Banshee route. GuMiho, on the other hand, looks like he's going to open up with some reactored Hellions.
All right, yep, reactored Hellions will be the order of the day, and a starport. So is that a tech lab going down on the barracks?
Yes.
It is, so probably going to be Banshees then from GuMiho as well, although he could just choose to get Stim pretty quickly, make some Marines maybe in a medevac, but I doubt it. I'd be shocked.
Well, you know.
I'd be flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted even.
I'd be...
some strong words there.
I don't know, what's another word for really surprised?
Yes. I'm not sure, but
I'd be hornswoggled.
I would use that word right now to describe ThorZaIN's third command center that's coming out at the moment.
He's been trying to expand aggressively here, and it's gone not so well. And look at this GuMiho. Yeah, he's just so on top of things. He's going to scout this right away, and or not. Wow, okay, so... Yeah, GuMiho is actually going to go up into the natural. Ah, there we go. He's going to... Oh, he's not going to scout it. Wow.
Now he is, because the Marines are going to push him back down that way.
A little bit, yeah. That's why ThorZaIN is not chasing, I think, here, too.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I don't want the Hellions down there. ThorZaIN's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, he saw it. All right. So now he knows that command center is actually going to be delayed a little bit as the SCV dies.
Yes, it is, and these Marines are actually trapped on both sides by Hellions, so GuMiho with some good control could take all of those out, but it looks like he's content with delaying the construction of the command center for a while, and that's going to be about all. And look at this, ThorZaIN actually going over to Blue Flame Hellions and a drop here, not in any way, shape, or form going for those Banshees. Yeah, definitely going for something that GuMiho might not expect, so this could end up working okay for ThorZaIN, and Blue Flame Hellions do generally pretty well against regular Hellions, so it might not be too bad for him, but it's just got to be frustrating for ThorZaIN to try to do things like take that fast third command center like we saw him do, and then have it, you know, delayed again. I mean, he's playing a certain amount of with a certain amount of risk himself as well. But here's the drop from GuMiho. GuMiho dropping first in this match, and he might do some damage here. Yeah, but he's not killed that much stuff quite yet, and ThorZaIN was able to react pretty well. He's only lost 3 workers this entire game. One of those was a scout, I believe. So only 2 workers lost, gets a Hellion in return, and delays the drop. So nice job by ThorZaIN. I feel like GuMiho saw that positioning there with the factory and the starport, so he may have a good idea about what ThorZaIN is bringing to him, too, if he saw the tech lab going on the factory. Did he see that stuff? I'm sure he did. I just want to double check. Yeah, he did. So, oh, and even sees 2 what? That's, interesting. Oh, you know what? You know what happened was because this is he saw one that was being constructed. Look, as soon as he gets in here,
oh yeah, okay,
yeah, it just looks really weird. So.
And if he looks at his map too, he might be a little bit misled here too. But no, he won't be. ThorZaIN is actually going back anyway, so just kind of a funny little circumstance there. And here comes a Blue Flame Hellion drop from ThorZaIN. He denies GuMiho's third. Yeah. Ha! How do you like that? Towel Terran and the Hellions trying to make their way into the natural expansion.
Let's see if ThorZaIN can get some damage done. He's already killed a couple of workers. Blue Flame proving to be pretty effective in the circumstance. When we get one more shot, he does kills another SCV with that as well. Ahead 8 to 3 workers killed, so we actually killed 7 more with that drop and denied, of course, the third command center, the real benefit there.
3 Hellions, not too bad.
Now let's see, as we do have Banshees out on the field, as GuMiho, as we kind of saw with the double starports, doing a bit of Sky Terran here, producing those Vikings 2 at a time.
Well, as we've seen in the past, GuMiho has just a ton of different ways he can play the game. It's just one of many.
It's a very risky way, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, exactly. It's a little bit riskier way to play, but in a series where you feel so confident against your opponent, you know, why not take some risks? He's up 2 games. He's basically got ThorZaIN locked down, as we can see here. And, yeah, ThorZaIN just doesn't have a lot to handle these Banshees right now.
And he's got to watch out for the attack down at the bottom as well. Yeah, finally the Hellions going past the supply depot, but it gave time for ThorZaIN to react, so not the best control from GuMiho right there. Oh, and watch out! He's getting these Vikings cleaned up. That's actually going to give ThorZaIN the air advantage. So it looks like another 10 workers were killed, so ThorZaIN is back behind in that regard, but he is driving away these forces very effectively. There goes Banshee.
Yeah, GuMiho not paying attention there for just a second, and that saved ThorZaIN big time, man. That was a lucky break for him there. Yeah. And GuMiho, though, chasing ThorZaIN back now with the air advantage, but he's got 2 Thors coming out very, very soon. That's going to help against the Banshees and the Vikings quite a bit. Yeah.
And ThorZaIN is, of course, his namesake, apt to go Thors every once in a while. We see it in this TDT as well, that Mass Thor style. Look at this, actually building these supply depots, just leaving small choke points where those Hellions would move through. Kind of clever there, not fully walling it. Just, okay, well, now he is. Maybe he did have the intention to do so. I thought he was just wanting to create little choke points, but...
I'm sure that was part of it until, you know, he got the wall off done completely. I'm sure that was part of it, but you know what I found out was that ThorZaIN's name has nothing to do with Thors. It's just a name he picked.
No, it's true.
So, yeah, which is surprising. I think I thought it had something to do with Thors as well.
They are his, that is his namesake unit, though, so... And we'll see how many he decides to produce. Is that just his 3rd? Yeah, just his 3rd, popping out now and going back into mass tank and Hellion production afterwards.
Well, ThorZaIN has a bit of a supply lead. He's secured his 3rd base. He just started a 4th command center as well, so he's doing okay. But here comes another drop for GuMiho, and these, you know, have been okay. ThorZaIN does spot it right away, though, as we can see there. Yep. And yeah, upgrades. Actually, both of these players appear to be going mech, but ThorZaIN has a nice little kind of lead in terms of army composition at the moment.
Oh yeah, and upgrades. Actually, if I can check a tank, yeah, not even +1 started for GuMiho, although he is going into 2 Ravens now. Oh, watch out though, ThorZaIN. This is a lot of workers lost. He finally moves away, but not before losing another 11 workers, actually 12. He's trying to push through the front though. Bunch of landed Vikings. That's not going to be great against those Thors and tanks.
Not exactly, yeah. And all ThorZaIN needs to do is worry about taking down this third base. If he can do a lot of damage here, that is going to go a long way in helping him secure this game. Oh, at the right side base though for ThorZaIN, there is a Hellion drop going on as well.
Yeah, that's what killed 11 workers just a second ago, as we pointed out. But these landed Vikings, they're just not doing anything. And these Thors can tank so much damage. They can pick off the tanks with relative ease. Wow, ThorZaIN up by 40 supply, crushing this third orbital command. He may have lost some units here, but he's cleaning that up, and he has certainly won the trade.
Oh, he even gets a command center too. That's huge.
Yeah.
What's the worker count right now for these two? It looks like 55 to 56, so still even, but GuMiho being down on the base is definitely in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, down 25 supply, down upgrades as well, as +2 going to finish up here in less than 40 seconds for ThorZaIN.
Yep.
And we'll see if he can roll out with some reinforcements in a second. He is rallying those units across the map, as he did finish up his 4th orbital command as well. We'll float that over to the pocket or down south in just a bit.
Oh, what is that Hellion doing? I don't know, but it's dead now. But
apparently took stim.
Yeah, I like what ThorZaIN's doing here. Kind of pulling back a little bit, regrouping in the middle of the map. A little bit dangerous to push from the third into the natural the way things are at the moment. But if he were to push right now, I feel like he could just literally roll up and kill GuMiho. ThorZaIN is in a great position in this game.
Just about. He's going to have to contend with this Banshee that's actually stolen a few more kills, so GuMiho's done a nice job of keeping the worker count even.
Killed a lot, yeah.
But he hasn't been able to touch the army out of ThorZaIN yet.
Not quite yet, but maybe soon. Who knows? He's producing 3 tanks at once. That does help. He's also making another command center. ThorZaIN, though, those upgrades, +3 weapons on his vehicles already started here. That's going to make such a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, it is. And he's sitting on 50 supply advantage, and only 9 of that is in workers. And, of course, on those 4 bases, his economy is just going to be ridiculous. He's matched, you can see here, in minerals, but that's until this 4th one actually gets saturated. Yep. Oh, wow, this orbital command is not going to last long at all. GuMiho trying to roll his way up, but the Thors have actually gotten pretty low, but they've tanked most of the damage. And now that the siege tanks are firing for ThorZaIN, it's not much of a chance for GuMiho to get anything done. Bye-bye command center.
Yep, Mule landed there to repair that Thor. It's a good idea. It's something I feel is a little bit underused right now with Terrans going mech, is that they usually land their mules to just BM people at the end of games, but they should be landing them to repair during fights and things like that. So cool to see ThorZaIN doing something like that.
Well, GuMiho going to roll up with some Hellions. So unfortunately, he's already stopped by ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN has to retreat with these Blue Flame Hellions for a little while. +1 weapons not even finished, though, for GuMiho, and +3 is already on the way for ThorZaIN.
Yeah, and what does GuMiho do at this point, really? I mean, Hellion run-bys aren't working because of the wall-off. You can't use Banshees because of ThorZaIN's Vikings. GuMiho is just playing a mech game against ThorZaIN that he's behind in a big way. So yeah, unless ThorZaIN makes some huge mistakes here, I think he should be in a great spot to finish this game. Oh, and the command center taking a lot of damage there.
So frustrating. Already that command center at half health. It's going to require SUV to repair that up in just a bit. Drop made its way in for ThorZaIN. There was already a tank there to defend, and it cleans up the Hellions. Really no problem. And ThorZaIN kills a couple more workers, but really just continually denying that third base. That's his real benefit.
Yeah, ThorZaIN is just playing this really safe, really, you know, slowly. He's basically just saying, hey, I don't need to end the game right now. I know you're on 2 bases. I know I've got you, you know, really, really delayed as far as everything goes. So I'm just going to take bases, make sure you don't get your third, and then I should be able to just win at some point.
Fusion Core coming up now as we see some additional, oh wow, that's actually 2 Tech Lab starports. There's going to be 4 in total here in just a second, so he'll be able to mass produce those battle cruisers in just a second. Not a bad transition out of him at this stage of the game.
Wouldn't be bad. I mean, GuMiho doesn't really have a whole lot against the battle cruisers. He has some Vikings, but not a lot. The battle cruiser transition is always a dangerous time, though, in TVT. You know, it's a time when you're spending a lot of resources on very few units, and sometimes it's something you can take advantage of. GuMiho pushing here.
Yeah, he's trying to take out these tanks. He just sacrificed a lot of Hellions to get that done, though, and only killed a couple of tanks in return. He was about drawing even in supply because ThorZaIN was saving up for his Fusion Core to finish and moving into battle cruisers after that.
Well, here's the thing. GuMiho has 1 Banshee coming out, and ThorZaIN He has one Thor, so I guess that's enough to push away one Banshee. I didn't see that Thor in there earlier, but still a little bit risky to be out on the map with such a large tank-only composition. Just one Thor backing that up.
And Fusion Core is finished, but he's actually producing 3 Thors at a time right now and reinvesting into his Vikings, making sure he has that air coverage before anything else is done. He does have a lot of Vikings sitting on +1 armor already.
I think that's definitely better. I mean, he knows, too, that you need to be pretty far ahead to get that battle cruiser transition to work well. Otherwise, the only other way it works is if you catch your opponents in a weird way. What is with Hellions today, man?
I don't know.
He's getting stuck on things all over the place.
I think they're, I don't even know, maybe the pathing, they were trying to run up into this base with a full wall. I just don't understand.
It's possible, I guess, but
that wouldn't make any sense. I would think they would just run around, though. So.
A little bit pathetic.
Yes, it is.
And here comes ThorZaIN with those Vikings trying to win that air fight, but that is 4 defense drones for GuMiho.
Whoa, no, that's actually 8 point defense drones.
Yeah.
But he finally has broken through them, so they're actually going to fall here pretty quick. The Ravens go down first. ThorZaIN had enough to just brute force through it. There's the GG.